So this is one example of a language, formal language, which is A and B and C and train of A's followed by train of B's followed by train of C's, and with equal number of A's, B's, and C's. And we shall be showing that this language is not a context-free language. So once again, as we did in the application of the um, pumping lemma for the regular languages, so we suppose on the contrary that this language is indeed context free. So yeah, so this is kind of something we have to prove, that the language this is not context free. So we are going to use the pumping lemma for the context free languages. So I am assuming on the contradiction or on the contrary that this language is context free. Well, if this language is context free, then it must have the pumping constant as we have discussed it in our previous lecture. So, and that pumping constant, let that be P. It is also known as the critical length. Okay, so let that be P, and we know that any string which is whose length is greater than P is a sufficiently long string, and that string can be decomposed into 5 substrings. So for that case, I have chosen this string A, P, B, P, C, P. This is a sufficiently long string. The length of this string is 3P, and 3P is definitely greater than P. So therefore, this string is sufficiently long and hence can be decomposed. When it would be decomposed, it would be decomposed into 5 substrings U, V, X, Y, and Z. And then we have constraints over the substrings V, X, and Y. One of the constraints is that the length of the substring Vxy is bounded above by the pumping constant. And the second constraint is that Vy is the length of the substring Vy is greater than or equal to 1, which means that V and Y, they simultaneously cannot be the empty string. One of them has to be non-empty string, at least. Both of them can be non-empty strings. So let's move forward now. Now the thing is, if that language is if that language is context free, then I can pump as many copies of V and the same number of copies of Y as I may please. And the newly formed string would be in the language. Uh, just given the assumption that the language is context free. Now let's see what is going to happen. Well, we shall be showing that okay, this is not going to happen, but let's not jump to that conclusion yet. And we have to examine all the possibilities for Vxy. One very important thing to be discussed over here, if you guys remember, in case of the pumping lemma for regular languages, I had the decomposition as XYZ, and I said that XY would be in the first P characters of the string, but that thing is not happening in here. That thing is not going to happen in here. There is no constraint of that type. We are not talking about the location of the substring vxy. We cannot talk about that. Okay, because it is coming from the parsing tree, and I cannot have any idea about the parsing tree. Uh, Okay, so we do not have any such constraint regarding the location of the substring vxy. So it can be anywhere along the original string. Therefore, I have to consider all of the possibilities for the location of the vxy, and we have multiple cases. The first case that we discuss is the case where we say or we assume that vxy is entirely in the train of A's. Well, if that thing happens, um, then we shall see that V would be composed of a few A's and Y would be composed of a few A's. Okay, and I know that V and Y cannot be simultaneously empty. Therefore, K1 plus K2 is greater than or equal to 1. Okay, and then if I pump in, suppose I pump in just one copy of V And of course, if I pump in one copy of V, I would have to pump in just one copy of Y as well, one extra copy. So the newly constructed string is going to be UV square X Y square and Z. And then I would have added K1 number of A's extra due to V and K2 number of Y's extra due to K2 number of A's extra A's due to Y. So the newly constructed string would be this one. Yeah, this string is going to be A uh, power P plus K1 plus K2, and then B top P and C top P. And we have a contradiction, and this string is not in the language. The reason is that K1 plus K2, this is some number which is 1 or more than 1. So I would have more number of A's as compared to B's and C's, and this is against the membership criterion for my language, because I want to have A's and B's and C's in the same number. Therefore, I have a condition. So first case, which was regarding the location of the VXY, and in which we assume that VXY lies in the train of A's, has led me to the contradiction. Similarly, the case when I assume that Vxy lies in the train of B, is we are going to have the same contradiction. In that case, we would, although we would have number of A's is equal to number of C's, and they are in the same sequence, A's followed by B's followed by C's, but then the number of B's is going to be greater than the number of A's and C's. Okay. And case 3, wherein I assume that the location of the substring Vxy is in the train of C's, I would have that, okay, that the number of C's is going to exceed the number of B's as well as the number of C's. Although number of A's and number of B's are equal, but number of C's is going to be greater than these two. Therefore, the conclusion in this case happens to be that this the resulting string is not going to be in my language, and hence a contradiction would be there. These are not all the possible locations of Vx and Y. I can have another possibility. In fact, I can have multiple other possibilities. So one of those possibilities is that Vxy is lying somewhere in between A's and B's. I mean, it has a few of the portion of A's and then it has few of the portion of B's. Well, with this assumption, there are two. There are two subcases, and those two subcases can be that V is composed only of A's and Y is composed only of B's. Since I said that Vxy includes both A's and B's, so I can have this possibility that V consists only of A's and Y consists only of B's. Well, in this case, since this is my assumption that V is consisting of A's and Y is consisting of B's, so it would mean neither V is empty nor Y is empty. I would have at least one A in V and I would have at least one Y in B. Because if I say that Y is empty, then it would be somewhat against my spirit of the assumption, because why would I say then, okay, Y consists only of A's or only of B's? Okay. Then when I pump in V, X and Y, so sorry, when I pump in some V's and some Y's, say for example, I pump in just one extra copy of V and one extra copy of Y, I would have with me that the number of A's is P plus K1 and number of B's is P plus K2. And once again, although A's sequence remains the same, A's followed by B's followed by C, but number of A's and B's have increased and number of C's is not increased, which means in the resulting new string, the number of A's and B's and C's is not the same. So I have a contradiction. Okay. Now the second subcase. Remember that this time I am saying in the case number 5 was that Vxy consists of A's and B's. Now the second possibility, or in the subcase, I would say, V consists of A's and B's, and Y consists of only of B's. Okay, V consists of A's and B's, and Y consists of only of B's. Then what would happen? I would have to pump in some copies of V's and the same number of copies of Y. Well, if I pump in some copies, let us say that it has these many A's and these many B's, okay? K1 A's and K2 B's, and then K3 B's for the Y. Now, what happens if I just pump in one more extra copy of Y and one more extra copy of V? I will see that uh, when I pump in just one more copy of Y, it is okay. I have just the train of B's. But when I pump in some copies of extra copies of Y, I have a trouble that the sequence of A's and B's start interchanging, because you can just imagine that I place another copy of V with itself. So I would have AK1, BK2, then AK1 and BK2. So, and when this is viewed in the longer string itself, I have A's, which was the part of the substring U, then K1 copies of A's, then K2 copies of B's, then K1 copies of A's, then K2 copies of B's, and the B's of Y, sorry, the B's of the substring X, the extra B copies in the substring Y, and then the rest of the string. Well, the conclusion is that this string that I have with me is not in my language, is not in my language, precisely because of the reason that I have chain of A's followed by chain of B's followed by chain of A's, which is followed by chain of B's, and then chain of C's, uh, which is not which is not the accepting criterion of my language. My language says that the sequence should be A's followed by B's and then followed by C's. I do not have any A's after B. I do not have any B's after C, or I do not have any A's after C. This is precisely the same sequence: A's followed by B's followed by C's. So, well, that would mean I have a contradiction. So I tried to locate Vxy comprising of A's and B's. Now I need to consider another case as well, and that case is the V consists of only A's and Y consists of A's and B's. So I'm going to have the same sort of contradiction with me. I would have chain of A's, that is fine, but then I would have chain of B's and then chain of A's and then chain of A's and etc. So which is going to give me a contradiction. Where was that? Yeah. So I would have a contradiction once again, because I'm writing it that it is similar to case 2. And then I have another case. And that case is in the previous case, which was case 4, Vxy was consisting of, G. Somebody had a question? Somebody unmuted their mic? No. Okay. Now I have Vxy consisting of B's and C's. But I'm going to give you the same argument that I gave in case number 4, and I would say that okay, it is going to lead me to a contradiction. Okay, and then another possibility. The other possibility is that Vxy consists of A's as well as B's as well as C's. But I am saying, or this guy is saying, this Costas Busch, this guy is saying that this is an impossibility. Can somebody tell me why I cannot have such a location for Vxy?
Length of Vxy is less than P.
Exactly. Exactly, Daud. It is Daud, I suppose.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, great. Okay. Daud, how are you?
Fine, sir. आप कैसे हैं?
बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. Great. Okay. So Vxy, such location for Vxy is not possible. Therefore, it is useless to consider this case. Now, we have seen that wherever Vxy may be, it is going to give us a contradiction if we try to pump in some copies of Y and the same copies of V. So the string is not pumpable, which would mean my language is not pumpable. So if this language is not pumpable, then I have a contradiction, and that contradiction would mean that my original assumption is not correct, and hence the language is not context free. So most of the time, this application of the pumping lemma, not most of the time, each time it is applied in its contrapositive form, and we always start from we always start from or we always try to prove it in the contradiction or proof by contradiction method. Let's move forward. So this language is not context free. This was my conclusion.